I start focusing on just me and my goal, my success, and all that kind of stuff, like my ego kind of creeps in.
Just stumbled on this opportunity, and I'm thankful and grateful, that I did.
But in the financial industry, you have to empty out your cup. When you set a goal and then you accomplish it. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Like, I already celebrated it and claimed it that it was going to happen. And so I knew that we were going to pull together, have a really, really amazing team.
Doing an average about $3,000 a month to you closed out $16,000, Donna.
But I feel like I could always be a better producer.
And I felt like I needed to prove it to myself that I can accomplish that.
My name is Trista Giancotti, and I am with Jumpstart Go. I'm the training specialist here and sales trainer. So I get to train agents every single day to be the best agents that they can be, to take their sales team to new levels, to be able to see their insurance agency go to a whole new trajectory. It's such an honor every single day when I wake up saying, man, I get to do this every single day for the rest of my life. So that's super exciting for me, just to see people's lives being changed. And today, you guys are going to hear two stories from two different people about how insurance really has been something that has been able to change their life in a positive way as they are able to help protect other people. And I'm super excited. And if you're on and if this is your first time, you guys are in for a very, very special treat, I guarantee you. So I've been in the insurance business for 13 years, guys. I started out on property and casualty with Allstate. And then prior to that, or before that, or after that, should I say, I don't know why I'm saying prior. Before that, I went to college and never saw myself in the insurance industry at all. Ended up just applying to an ad and got the job, and then realized quickly how awesome insurance is, and that it can be the very thing that would allow for me to accomplish the dreams and hopes that I wanted in my life by being a vehicle to do so. So I ended up opening up my own agency, growing it to a $3 million agency before selling it. And now I get to consult and help agents just like Bianca and Donna. So that's just a little snippet about me. I'm going to ask Bianca to share just a little bit about who she is, what lines of business she does. Obviously, we know she's from Lafayette, but just share us a little bit about who you are, Bianca, and why you do what you do every day.
So, hey guys, I'm super excited to be able to do this call with you guys. I am 31 years old, live in Lafayette, Louisiana, single mom. I have two small children, a daughter that's 8 and a son that's 4. And prior to insurance, before insurance, I was working at a treatment center. I was a supervisor there. I did that for a couple of years and just got, a little burnt out on it and was just looking for something different, and ended up getting introduced to the insurance opportunity. And at first I was like, I don't really know if I want to talk about death all day. I never really had liked sales before. I'd worked at some network marketing companies before and never really had success there. But I was like, well, I'm willing to give it a try. I had new people in the industry that were having success. And so I'm like, well, if they can do it, I know I can do it. I just have to see, what it is that they're doing, and then, duplicate and model that. And so, the rest is history. I mean, when I first started, I did struggle in the beginning, which was interesting because normally, like anything I do, I'm pretty successful at pretty early on. And so to struggle in the beginning was difficult, but I knew that if I just kept doing what was suggested, eventually I would see the success, and I ended up seeing the success, and it's just been an amazing journey and opportunity. And I'm very grateful for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Bianca. I love hearing that. Even you guys are going to hear more about her story tonight. And I love that she said that she struggled in the beginning, yet it didn't define her. It didn't stop her. And you guys are going to hear how she has went and grew her agency to this last month over $262,000 in premium that her and her team wrote. And so I can't wait for you guys to hear her story. But before that, I want to give Donna an amazing opportunity. Donna, tell us a little bit about who you are. What got you into insurance and your journey so far?
Well, It's funny because I was last year I was trying to get ready for my nephew's wedding. So I was going to make a dress. The wedding was in July. So Cheryl, who I studied for my insurance exam with, I was like, "Oh, I'll just call Cheryl." And I heard she was doing something, but I didn't get all of the details. And so when I called her, I was like, "Hey, I need help making this dress." And she was like, "Okay, I can help you." So she was like, "I wanted to talk to you about something. You were on my list." And I was like, "Oh, okay. What did you want to tell me about?" And she started telling me about senior life. And when she told me about legacy, I was like, "What? Say that again?" I was like, "You can actually what? Like with the caskets?" Because my mom's casket was like 7,000. I said, "Are you
Mm.
serious?" So, I got in and I was not explaining legacy right at first, but eventually, I got it. But I'm glad that I, was able to just by accident kind of stumble on. I always say senior life found me. So, just stumbled on this opportunity and I'm thankful and grateful, that I did.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Donna. I love that. Started out to make it. I never knew that. I didn't know that you could make dresses. I'm learning all new things about you, Donna. I
Well,
can't.
it was for myself. It wasn't, I don't sew for other people
I
yet.
know, but I can't sew to save my life. So, so
Neat.
that's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we're going to dive in. Now that you guys get to know who we are and a little bit about our amazing guests, I'm going to open it up. Bianca, we're going to just celebrate your success for a minute because it is something that should be, both of you guys, should be celebrated. I'm all about that. We love and the Closers Click and the Producers Academy to celebrate wins, right? And we love to be able to do that. And so, guys, Bianca and Donna have been a part of the Producers Academy, which is within Jumpstart Go. And Bianca has grandfathered herself and she was in the very first class and then she joined a second time. She's joining a third time. She just keeps renewing. And what I love about that is that she's a student. No matter how much success she sees, she knows the power of investing into herself and the power to investing into her team. And I love that about Bianca, one of the most humble people that I've probably ever met when she could all right be, walking with a big head because of the success, but she has the most humble heart and most giving heart. And so it's an honor to know her and to coach her. But Bianca, you went from prior to last month, the highest you ever wrote pen to paper like yourself was $56,000 and we were pushing you for 57, sorry, 57. Look at me, I'm corrected. $57,000 and I kept pushing you for 60 because I knew you had it in you and you came up super short the month before and I knew it was like, dang it, I got to do it again. And it didn't stop you, it just spurred you on to go. In fact, last month, Bianca, what did you come in personal? Your best record ever for writing life insurance. What was your total number? Do you remember? I mean, of course you do, but I'm going to let you share that number. What was that?
It was over $68,000 in business. I think it was,
Exactly.
see, $68,466.
There you go. She knows it to the T, guys. That's on her own personal pen. Guys, she was so committed, so devoted. She came up with a game plan, knew exactly what she wanted to accomplish, knew how many leads she was going to need, what time she was going to be on the phone, time blocked herself, and she did it. I remember like the last couple of days, you're like, Trista, we need to move our appointment. I'm not showing up. I have to hit a goal. And then I was like, well, what goal? She's like, the goal you made me hit. So she didn't just hit it, but she exceeded it. But what's even more awesome than that is the heart that Bianca has for her team. As an agency owner, and I know that I'm talking to a lot of agency owners right now, that you have a team that's under you, that's around you. And as a team, you guys are being able to make a difference, whether it's property and casualty, making sure that they're properly protected with the auto, the right coverages on their home, whether it be life, whether it be health. If you have a team around you, you guys are every single day being able to not just impact your prospects and your customers, but to be able to protect and impact your teammates. And as a team, Bianca, you have been pushing for this goal since October when I met you, or sorry, September when I met you in Orlando. You have been running to write as a team 250,000 because that was going to take you to becoming a partner and to your next level and tier, all of that. And guys, she hit it. Her and her team hit it this past month where you guys did $262,000 in life production in 1 month, not a year. I mean, some people just do that in a year or in a couple months. You guys did it in 1 month. Talk to us about, tell us first of all, what did it feel like, Bianca? Like, celebrate with us a little bit. What did it feel like when your final numbers came in and you saw what you did yourself, and then more importantly, what your team did? Take us there and tell us how that felt. Like, how did it feel for you?
It was pretty amazing. I mean, when you set a goal and then you accomplish it. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Like, I already celebrated it and claimed it that it was going to happen. And so I knew that, we were going to pull together, have a really, really amazing team. They definitely step it up when it matters. And so, yeah, I mean, it was awesome, but again, I'm still not satisfied with where I'm at. So, I want to just keep moving forward. But, when you hit those milestones, it's just more proof that, again, when you set a goal and you back it up with the right attitude and the right amount of activity, like, you can literally achieve anything that you want, right? Especially when you tell yourself you can do it. And it's crazy because, like, thinking back to where I was when I first started, like, my upline at the time was doing around this amount. I think it was maybe around 300,000, and, would say, like, he was making like $50,000 a month. I'd be like, man, that's crazy. Like, that seems so far off, but, like, you can get there, right? It may take a little bit of time, but it's a process. But, with the help of Producers Academy and just, your support and your coaching and, just kind of really having a game plan, I was able to achieve it. So that's awesome.
I love that. And I love that it didn't just naturally come easy to you, Bianca. Like, you've shared a couple things about, when you started out door knocking, right? You went out into the field and did something that I think a lot of times most agents don't like to do. Like, whenever you like didn't close the deal, like, you would call your mentor and be like, hey, what could I have done better? Right? Versus, well, let's just go to the next. Like, I love, tell us, what did that do? Like, how did that really start to change the trajectory of you as an agent and then eventually you as an agency owner, because you do that now with your agents? How did that begin to shape you into who you are by saying, okay, I didn't close it. What can I do? How can I get better? Tell us that journey, Bianca.
I mean, you have to come to this opportunity, whatever opportunity you're in. But, in the financial industry, you have to empty out your cup, right? Like, you have to be coachable, you have to be teachable. And I remember David telling me in the beginning, like, I have to just act like I really don't know anything, which I really didn't know anything. So, I was okay with that. But, like, I knew that David had already done it before me, right? And like I said, I remember going train with, a top producer at that time, and she made it look super easy. Like, I think she sold like 8 policies in one day, and I was like, oh, like, people were just like throwing checks at her, and I was like, well, I can do this. This looks easy. And we worked from 9 a.m. till it was dark at night. And then the very next day I went out and I didn't get any checks. I didn't sell any policies. And I was like, wait, hold on. What's happening here? But again, like, I had to go through my own process. And I want everybody to realize, like, you have to go through your own process. Like, you see where somebody that maybe has more success than you is, you're not going to get there overnight. Like, you have to go through the trials, the tribulations. You have to go through that learning process to be able to have that same success. And that's basically what I had to realize. Like, okay, I'm not selling, but I am learning, right? Like,
Yeah.
all the leads that I was working were my education. And so I had to take every opportunity as an opportunity to learn something, right? And so if I didn't call my mentor, my manager, that's a missed opportunity, because I don't know I don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
So me calling David and being like, hey, okay, this is what I said. What should I have said instead? And then being quiet and listening, right? And then taking what he told me and then going applying it. And
Yeah.
that's the big thing, right? Because you can give coaching and you can give experience and advice, but if you don't actually take that and apply it to what you're doing, you're not going to see the success. And so there was like a 3-week period where I didn't sell a policy, but I kept going through the motions until something
Yeah.
happened. And I could have given up during that time, but I had the belief that, hey, there's people doing it. So I know it's possible. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop until I get what they're getting, So
Yeah. I love that. And I love too, because I get to see now that you're a part of Producers Academy. So I get to kind of see like behind the scenes with you, Bianca, through our coaching calls and our
Mhm.
conversations, that even when you were going for in March, when you were hitting and you were going, I'm going to hit this goal, I'm going to do this, my team's going to do this, we're going to go to that next level. That didn't mean that every day you woke up and it was easy. Like you shared with me about how there was a day that you bought 11 leads and you
2
closed
days,
nothing. Two
2 days.
days, not just one day,
The
but
last 2
2 days.
days.
It's like
Crazy.
you bought 11 leads a day and both days like didn't close anything. And yet some people would look at that and be like, okay, I'm done. I'm not. But yet you kept going, you kept persevering, you kept your eyes on the prize, which was your goal, and what seeing you hit your goal, but then also seeing your team hit their goal as well. And so, like, how did it feel in those moments when here you are, you just spent 11 leads, like it's crunch hour, and you're just hearing no, 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 no.
I have enough experience to know that it's a numbers game, and instead of looking at it as like, wow, I just wasted, right? Because a lot of people look at, I just wasted $1,000. No, I just invested $1,000 and I haven't got
Mm,
my return yet, but I know that if I keep going, I will see the return. And the crazy part is like at like 5 o'clock, from like 5 to 8, I ended up writing like $7,000 in business because I just kept going,
yeah.
and it ended up working out. But I think too, I kind of gotten to a point where something shifted where it was like I was more focused on my goal than like helping people.
Mm,
And that never works out well for me. Like I have to put other people ahead of myself, and I
mm,
always have to make it about helping my clients, right? Because if I start focusing on just me and my goal, my success, and all that kind of stuff, like my ego kind of creeps in. And so there came a point where like I had to shift that, and I had to take a step back and be like, okay, Bianca, I'm forcing it, and I can't do that, right? You start having
mm,
like, I call it commission breath, right? You're just trying to make a sale, just trying to make a sale. And
yeah.
people can sense that, right? So, I had to take a step back, kind of refocus my mind, get my mindset back right, get my heart back right, and then come and go back to what I normally do, which is just, you know,
Yeah.
who can I help today, right? Who am I
Yeah.
going to help right now?
Yeah.
And, was able to, make it happen.
I love that. And I love that because that's something that is super important to me as an agent. I've always said, and how I've taught people as in Producers Academy, how I taught people within my own agency. It's like, hey, listen, it's not about the money. Yes, it's nice, and that's nice to have because we need money to operate and to live in this world, right? But it's about the fact that we get to make sure that if we're doing our job right, we get to properly protect families. And we, especially when it's, in the life side of things, making sure that their family doesn't have to do a GoFundMe account or a spaghetti dinner, but you took the time to protect it. So we can look at it and say, okay, Bianca, your team wrote 262,000, but more importantly, that was hundreds of families that you and your team was able to protect. And part of your team is the great Miss Donna. Donna, you are part of Miss Bianca's team, and it's been a pleasure to be able to have you the last 3 months in Producers Academy. Donna showed up with a smile, guys, every single day. sometimes with, I think she had her camera off one time, and that was only because she was sick. But she showed up to class, she showed up to coaching calls, she showed up with a positive attitude, even in the moments when there was a lot of self doubt. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, about the self doubt that you had, that you're, in yourself, and yet how having a mentor like Bianca really pulled that out of you, and you've had some of your best months. You went from doing an average about $3,000 a month to you closed out $16,000, Donna. So take us there. Take us on your journey. What it felt like when you had your biggest month ever. Like, I remember texting you saying, Donna, you're number 27 in the whole company. And you're like, what? Like, you didn't even realize that. Again, it's just the humbleness that Donna has. But take us on that journey a little bit. Just the belief that you didn't have in yourself, the belief that your mentor had in you, and just where you've been able to accomplish in these past 3 months, Donna.
Yeah. So I had a rocky start, right? I wasn't coachable. I'm going to be completely honest. And, I learned a quote from one of my old mentors. I'm coachable, therefore I live in consistent increase.
Mm,
And, that didn't resonate with me because I was not coachable. And if you want to succeed, and that's in any business, but if you want to succeed and as bad as you can breathe, listen to the people who have done it before you. You know, they're not going to steer you wrong.
mm,
And, I looked at myself and I was just like, okay, it's up to you. Like, you can't keep making excuses. You can't keep blaming everybody else. And, and Bianca's a Christian and she loves God. And I love that about her. And she's always, hey, sending me something to read, you know, I pray for her. She prays for me. And it's just, when I hit that 16,000, I didn't even realize that it was that much. And I never see myself doing that because I had other people that just kind of shucked and like, no, this ain't gonna work. Why are you doing this? And I felt like I needed to prove it to myself
mm.
that I can accomplish that. And, I feel like the last 2 weeks I was sick and then I had a car accident. So it's just been one thing after another. However, I'm not going to lay down and give up. I'm
That's
just,
right.
like Bianca said, and like you teach in Producers Academy, activity equals results.
Mm,
And I was on the Zoom earlier today with a couple of teammates, and we were talking, and I was like, listen, it doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter if you get a TV lead. It doesn't matter if you get a Facebook lead, telemarketing lead, online. As long as you're calling people and doing the activity, you'll get a sale. It might not happen when you want it to or when you think it should, but it's going to happen, and you have to not make it about you. And I
yeah.
think I was making it all about me. And I was telling her I listened to a lot of, Wayne Dyer, and, there's this book called Power versus Force.
Mm,
And I felt like I was forcing it. And I was just so gung ho to get a sale. I got to make this money. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I was just like, you know what? After I listened to that, I was like, okay, God, you're in control. You're in control. So I just felt more relaxed now when I'm on the phone, when I'm making calls. I feel more relaxed and I don't feel like I have commission breath. Like, I got to make this sale. I don't feel like that anymore.
that's awesome. I've seen such growth too with you from the first time, because Donna, I got to meet you in Miami and
Oh, right,
just see,
right. Closers.
yeah,
Yeah, closers.
yeah, at the Closers Click at the event that you were there, and I got to meet you that day, or those 3 days actually, and to see the transformation from that Donna to the Donna that now everyone is seeing and watching right now. Like, this, I can't even put it into words, but it did come down to you being coachable. It came down to you saying, hey, what I'm doing is not working, so let me figure it out, and asking those questions, going to Bianca, showing up to your coaching calls, with me, saying, okay, this is what I got to do, this is what I'm doing, hey, can you do this? You were proactive the whole time, and to see that, and to see that the best is still yet to come. Like, man, you haven't even hit some of the greatest moments that you're going to hit, Donna. Like
Yeah.
this is just the beginning, you know? I love it. So awesome, awesome. Bianca, let talk to me. You're one of the very first that has enrolled into Producers Academy. We kicked it out, laid it out in September, and you're one of the first ones to say, yep, you stuck two people through it the first one, and you came back the second time, you put Donna through it, and you're coming back the third time here when the next class starts. And so, talk to us a little bit about the importance of investing into yourself, right? Because oftentimes I hear agents like when they want to do programs, the first question that agents say is like, what's the price? What's the price, right? Trust me, I get it because so many things are coming at you as an agent. Oh, buy this, do this. And we're always conscious of the price. But when it comes into coaching and coaching your team, like I always tell people, you can't put a price tag to that because the investment and knowing and seeing, like, Bianca, the investment that you made in Donna and to see the success that Donna has, the investment that you made in your other teammates, and the investment that you've made in yourself. So to kind of walk us through the journey of these past 6 months of you going through the Producers Academy 2 times, about to go through it the third time, and what would you say to agents like that are listening right now that may have a team or I have agents around them to say, hey, could Producers Academy be something for me or for my team? Like, talk to us a little bit about that.
I mean, I learned something, a couple years ago where like, we're sales professionals, right? And so, you know, I have to show up the way I want my clients to show up, right? So if I am in sales situations, right? Like if I'm like, what's the price? Like I want to think about it or making all these excuses, right? Like I tend to run into clients that do the same thing. So I try to be like a very easy sale. Like I am very willing to invest in of all since the beginning of me starting my insurance career. I've always been willing to invest, right? Like you tell me what I got to spend to get to where I need to go. I'm gonna figure out a way to make it happen because I know that again, when I look at it as like an investment, I know that I will get a return, especially if I put in the work and I take what I'm learning and I actually apply it, right? So knowledge is power, but like applied knowledge is also even more powerful, right? So, don't be looking at the price. Like, I know it's important, right? Because like, but again, I look at it like there's an app for that, right? Like however much money it is, like, okay, how many policies do I need to sell to be able to pay for that, right?
Yeah.
And same thing like with my agents, I know that if I invest in them, because David invested in me, right? He invested in me a lot of time, energy, and effort to get me to where I'm at right now. And look at the fruit of that, right? So I know that if I do that with my agents, as long as they're doing their part, right? I have to look at who I invest in, but as long as they're doing their part and they're suiting up and they're showing up every day, like
Mm,
I don't mind doing it because again, somebody did it for me, right? And I know that if I invest and they also take that and they apply it, like their lives can be changed. And I think it's, to me, that's more gratifying than my own success. Like to see Donna write, $16,000 in a month, right? When she was struggling to write 3,000, right? Like to me, that's more gratifying than me hitting $68,000 because I know I can do it, right?
hmm.
But when you give somebody like a proof of concept and then they take that and they run with it and they get the results, like it's like, okay, great. That's amazing. Like it does work. It's just
Yeah.
again more proof that if you follow the simple system that and every company has one, if you follow the simple system that is in front of you, you'll get the results. Right.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Awesome. What has been your experience with Producer Academy? Like, I know that you talked a little bit about investing, but what has been your experience with the Producers Academy? Like, what have you seen? Look, I know the growth. I can see your journey, but those that maybe don't get that behind the scenes like I do, like tell them about that, like how it's been these past 6 months with and that makes you say, here's my credit card again?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was already a pretty good producer before I was introduced to the program, but I feel like I could always be a better producer. I'm not, it's not like, oh, okay, I've arrived, right? Like, I feel like I'm a professional, but I'm not a master yet at what I do. So, the biggest thing that helped me was like the one call close, right? So I was already pretty good at one call closing, but again, it's like I'm still perfecting what I do, right? And
Mhm.
so Producers Academy really just helped me to fine tune the skills that I already had, and then also the coaching and the mentorship, right? Like, to me, that's more valuable than anything. You have somebody like yourself that's had success in building an agency, that's willing to pour into somebody like me, like that's very valuable, right? And so to me, that's what I got out of it. Like, just really fine tuning the sales skills that I already have. And then just like a different perspective. Like, I've done other coaching programs like Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort and things like that. And I'm just always looking for a new, fresh perspective on how to become the best version of myself that I
Mhm.
can be. Right. And so that's what Producers Academy really gave me, just like a fresh perspective, a new way to kind of look at, handling objections, handling the one call close, getting referrals, right? And then just
Calling
also
those referrals, right,
calling
Bianca?
those referrals, right? Yes. I'm really good at getting them. I'm just too lazy to call them. So, definitely still working on that. And then just too, like, not just helping me from a producer perspective, but then also helping me as an agency owner, right? Like, before Producers Academy, I was kind of just like a mom and pop, just kind of figuring it all out. And, you really helped me, put the systems and processes in place to really be able to grow and build my agency and run it successfully. Right.
Mhm.
And so to me, that when you have the skills and you have the tools, it breeds confidence. And when you're confident, right, and you have that belief, like that, breeds the success. And so, yeah, I think it's an amazing, amazing program. Obviously, I mean, I'm gonna do it a third time. So obviously
Bianca's
get
gonna
something out of it.
Bianca's gonna try to start teaching it. She said earlier,
Yeah,
you guys.
I know everything.
Just kidding.
So
Donna, talk to us a little bit. Donna, really quick, talk to us, not really quick, you have some time, Donna. Talk to us just about your experience with the Producers Academy. I remember, guys, listen, Bianca, when I when Bianca went outside with me in Miami and she signed up Donna, she didn't say anything. And I remember at the end when we announced it that Bianca was putting Donna through, like I remember just seeing Donna's face. Like it was almost like a disbelief, like, oh my gosh, Bianca believes in me enough to put me through this because you wanted to do it. You filled out your paper, you wanted to do it. But like the fact that Bianca put you through it, I just tell us, how did it feel in that moment? And then what has your journey been like these past 3 months in the Producers Academy, Donna?
Well, I didn't know what to expect with the Producers Academy. Seen Amy when she came back from when she was going through the training. I'm like, what are they doing? What is she doing? And everything just started to pick up for Amy. Like she's like, I'm doing 25,000. And I'm like, what? 30,000? I think she hit 30,000 in 1 month. And
Mhm.
I was like, wow, that is amazing. But I still didn't know. I didn't put the two together. And when I got to Miami, Bianca was on the Zoom with you guys in the car. And I was like, who are you talking to? She's like, the lady you're going to meet. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So with the Producers Academy, I've never gone through a training like this. It didn't even seem like 3 months. It it was so seamless. You just made it so seamless. And it didn't seem like a course. It just, we had fun doing it. I learned so much, especially with the one call close. I go to sleep with that at night sometimes in my ear so I can hear it and learn it better and be more confident in my calls because it does give you a lot of confidence on the things that you tell us to ask, how to ask questions and, fact finding. It really, really, it just streamlined my presentation, I think, a little bit better. I still get nervous sometimes, but I guess that comes with the territory. I just, but I love what I do. I love getting people covered, and I love knowing that people can rest at night knowing that their loved ones are not coming out of their pocket to have to pay for a funeral service that they're not really responsible for. So I
Yeah.
feel like, we're doing something good here, for the public, and, it's just amazing what you do to people, because I didn't know I was going to produce like that. And that was because of the Closer Click and Producers Academy. That's really what helped me. And, I just have to keep everything in the forefront of my head, and, know that when I can get to that place, that I'm going to go back through it myself, and I'll be able to pay it forward to help somebody else. That's my goal, honestly, to pay it forward to help another agent, that I see in the potential, because Bianca, you know, what she saw in me, I did not see it. Let's just put it that way. What
Mm.
Cheryl saw in me, I did not see it. Cheryl has been calling me superstar from day one. And I'm like, why does she keep calling me superstar? I haven't even sold anything. And she's like, it's not about that, and now I consider myself a superstar because I can do, once I put my mind to it, I can do it. And my mother
That's right.
always said, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it, Donna.
That's right.
Those words stay in my head from my mother.
That's awesome. I think what did you what was your takeaway name? Dominating Donna? Was that what you were? Or Dynamite Donna? What were
You
you in
called you
Miami?
called me you called me dominating Donna.
That's
Dominating.
awesome.
She's dominating. That's what I said. Dominating Donna.
Can I say
Mhm.
something about one thing that I saw is her self-development. There's a lot of people that come into this and they just want the success, right?
Mm,
But they're not really willing to put in the work to get the success, right? And it's not just about writing policies. It's not just about doing the presentations or getting the leads. That's part of it, but sometimes we have to work on ourselves. Sometimes there's things within us that are blocking us from the success that we want. And some things have to change, right? Like if you've never made over $100,000 in a month before, like you have to become a different person to make $100,000 then actually like keep it and actually like duplicate that, right? And
yeah.
and multiply it. And so, what I've seen Donna do is like do a lot of self-development, do the work on herself, read books, listen to motivational things, like, improve her relationship with God. And, she showed up. Like to me, that's the most important thing. Like I can work with somebody that shows up, and
Hmm.
Donna showed up, on our virtual call center every day. And so, that was a big thing for me that I saw. Like once she showed up, she was putting in the work to work on herself. And even though she didn't think she was coachable, she was a lot more coachable than a lot of other people that I've coached and mentored, So, if somebody's willing to give me at least half, then I can put forth the other half. And so, that's why I was willing to make the investment in Donna, and me and Dave were actually talking about like, a lot of people are like, well, what stock should I invest in, or whatever thing can I invest in? It's like the best thing you can invest in is your business,
Yeah.
because you invest in your business, you are bound to get a return if you put in the work. So that's like a no-brainer,
That's right.
especially in insurance. That's a no-brainer. Like all the money that, I make now, I realize like I have to put it back into my business for it to keep growing and to keep multiplying, and for it to really give me the best return, so I think that
Yeah.
that's important to realize. Like the best investment you can make is in yourself and in your business, like without a shadow of a doubt.
You
Absolutely.
remember telling me about Miami, and I told you I'm not going. You was like, "You're going."
Yeah,
you're,
you're going.
You're going. And I
Yeah.
had flight credits I was able to use. And thank God. I mean, God just seems like God is just working everything out for me. He
Mhm.
always works everything out for me. And it's like, why did I ever doubt that? Right.
Mhm.
So now I just trust God with everything. Just
Yeah, I love that. I
Awesome.
love it, ladies. It's been so awesome. So you guys may be joining us and saying, well, what is this Producers Academy? What are they talking about? Right? Let me explain what the Producers Academy is. So as one of as a training specialist and sales coach within Jumpstart Go, I went up to Ellen David and I said, hey, there's a need for sales training, really to take their agencies to the next level, Producers Academy. And so David, myself, and Elle, we jumped on some calls and through that just birthed Producers Academy. And what that is it's a 12-week intense sales boot camp. That's what I call it. It's a 12-week intense sales boot camp. Okay. It is 12 weeks and we meet twice a week. Plus, you guys have one on one coaching with me. We keep the classes very small. We only take 15 people at a time. Reason being is I don't have the bandwidth to be able to do the one-on-ones with everyone. We do much more than that. But we do it that way also because it gives you that intimacy to be able to ask questions, to get the support, and you have classes twice a week that happen. We have curriculum that we go through. We teach the things like what you heard Bianca and Donna talk about, the one call close. That's been the very thing that
you
I've
have
used.
homework.
And you guys have homework? Yes, thanks, Donna. John's supposed to be telling them all of that now. No, Donna was never late on her homework. She was always good. But teaching the one call close, which is the very thing that I used when I was an agent, when I had producers underneath me, when I was an agency owner. But I'm telling you what, we talk about overcoming objections. You guys get an accountability partner from day one in class that you guys get to meet with. Yes, Donna, there is homework every Friday. Homework is due. And so it's something that's super important. Donna's talked about it, Bianca's talked about it. We really focus on activity because at the end of the day, activity is always going to equal results. That you're just in control of what you want your results to be. If you want, like, and I don't want such good results, well, that means probably you're not putting the activity in. But if you put the activity in, the right activity, you're bound to have the great results. I love what Bianca said. She said, hey, I went 3 weeks without closing anything. But she said, yet. And there is so much power in that word yet because that does not mean that it's over. She could have been in control and say, I'm done and look at it as a failure. But I tell people, fail fast, fail often, but always fail forward because when you get back up, you're going to be much further than you were than before you fell. It's okay to fail. We have it in our mind that, oh my gosh, we have to have everything perfect. We can't fail. We can't. It's okay. I encourage you to fail because there's learning that happens when you fail.
Yeah.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So get out of it and find a different room, right? And
Mhm.
so that's the biggest thing. So if you're saying, you know what, this is something, and you don't have to have producers, you can put yourself through it. We've had agents that have put themselves through it and they've seen the massive results within themselves, within their sales productions. And so if that's you and you're saying, you know what, I really want to have a story like Donna or Bianca or some of the other stories, we've had other agents, we've had Valerie that wrote over $72,000 for her team. We've had Courtney that's on the team. They're going through it a second time. We've had Kim and Haley that they've had their biggest quarter. They're property and casualty agents. They've had their biggest quarter since the agency opened 12 years ago, guys. And so Producers Academy, I'm not saying it just because we created it. I'm saying it because you guys are seeing the testimonies that it works. And so if you're saying, you know what, I want much more information on this,